Sonic Lab
TV.
This is the Nano Control. It's the last in the Nano series that I reviewed, and it's dedicated transport control, fader surface and rotary knob. They're not rotary encoders because they've got end stops. Basically the unit comprises of a transport control, 9 faders, which is very handy because if you've got a bank of 8 and then a master, that's a useful number to have. Each one has 2 switches, a single little fader and a rotary knob. They feel quite good in terms of resistance and quality, not too bad really. It's also got 4 scene memories like the NanoPad, and again it's connectable by this mini USB jack. Again, it uses very little current, so you should be able to hook up all 3 of these to your laptop or whatever device you need, maybe even if it's not mains powered, for a full studio type layout. Everything on the Nano Control is assignable. You can assign these transport buttons, can just send MIDI control data, or they can send MMC, which is MIDI machine control for the transport functions of your DAW or software. The faders are assignable, and so is this encoder, which is not rotary. It stops at the beginning and the end, by the way. The other thing that's very cool is there are these 2 buttons, each with an LED light behind them that gives an indication of their status. They're programmable to be momentary or toggle, but they also have an envelope. So for the maximum value, you can program in a time for it to reach that value, and also a time for it to reach the minimum value. So you could use it, say for instance, by pressing it once, you could create a fade up at a certain speed and a fade down. And this is assignable per button, per channel. On channel 1, the first button is set to aux 1 with a fast attack and a slow release to the reverb. The second button handles the cutoff of this break. Fade up, fade down, fade up, fade down. Okay, one thing I found that was a bit of a problem with the Korg Control is when I plugged this as the 3rd device into my DAW, which was Logic on the Mac, all hell broke loose. MIDI kind of went a bit crazy, wouldn't communicate with any of the devices anymore, didn't quite know what to do. So what I did is I went to the Korg website and I downloaded the Korg OS X MIDI drivers. I installed that into the system and I got rid of all the old devices that I've got from various test rigs and stuff from over the years, and it was all fine. So I recommend that. You might find that that's a problem. Just get the latest MIDI drivers for this and you should be fine. Another thing that I didn't really like was the fact that the status of these LEDs, even though they light up, it's not bi-directional communication. So if you change a setting on your software, it doesn't show up on here, which could be a problem. Say if you're using live, you can't see which clips are soloed or which channels are muted, etc. That's a shame. Obviously these aren't motorized faders, but you knew that, didn't you, right? One thing about these buttons is you can press them in a certain way and they'll get stuck like this, so you might get them latching on, so you want to watch out for that. But on the whole, this is quite a robust device. Considering how much stuff it's got on it, it actually feels pretty robust and has a nice feel to it. The resolution of the faders and the knobs is nice, and it worked very well. Pricing. The Nano Control will set you back about $59.99 US. That's a street price. You can get it for about £41 in the UK, and it's about 59 euros. So that's not a bad price. Once again, Korg have done it well. So altogether, the 3 Nanos, I'd say you can't really go wrong. They've all got something to offer. Possibly the Nano Keys is the most limited, and it does feel a bit wibbly and wobbly, but generally, I'd say you can't really go wrong. And the Nano Control is a lot of stuff there for your money.